historians write about the Reagan administration, what do you want them to say?
You know, I've been asked that, and I guess I have to say I've never thought that far ahead. I'm so busy thinking about what we want to accomplish. I guess maybe just that I help perpetuate this great American dream.
What do you hope for in the next 3 years?
There are so many things. I would like to get us definitely on the pattern of reducing the deficit so that the balanced budget is in view. I would like to then have going into effect at that time a balanced budget amendment so we could never again go a half a century as we have of regularly deficit spending each year. And I would like to see us also have some plan for beginning installments to start reducing the national debt, as we have done many times in the past. There are a number of things that I would like to see resolve the problem of prayer in schools, and have us on the road, a good solid road that could make us optimistic about the chances for peace.
On the budget deficit, it seems as if members of your own party are not totally in accord with you. The Congress hasn't supported you. Are you optimistic? David Stockman said maybe this was the last chance, but you're optimistic about the future.
Yes, I am. There's no way that anyone could ever balance the budget in 1 year. This budget, over the years, has been structurally built in to our budgeting process. And the difficulty, of course, is getting agreement not on the need to reduce it. Everyone seems to agree on that. But then trying to get them to agree on, well, where do you apply the tourniquet and shut off that hemorrhage of funds. But I think that we're on the beginning of a track where we can see a progression of reducing the deficit as a percentage of gross national product. You know, if you just count the deficit in dollars, and it looks so horrifying, and you say, how did this ever happen? Well, if you look at it back over these 50 years of deficit spending on the basis of what it is as a percentage of gross national product, that too has been growing bigger. So it isn't as far out of line with past deficits. Some of them were just about as big as this one is in that percentage. But if we can get on a percentage to where for these next 3 years, what we have in mind is if we can get it next year down to 4% of the gross national product, 3% the following year, 2% the next year, we think that that progression will point us to, by 1990, a balanced budget, and then you could have go into effect the balanced budget amendment.
Some of your very close friends from California have gone back into private enterprise or gone back home. Are you turning more to your wife for counsel? She's a very wise lady.
Oh, we've always talked over everything together. I couldn't imagine it being otherwise. But as to the people leaving the administration, I've expected that. I had 8 years' experience in California, and I made it plain from the beginning that these people, I would take them, even if it was only for a year or 2 years, and then find someone else if they, and when they had to return to their own careers. And I think it should be that way if you're going to get, well, I always put it this way, I wanted people in government that didn't really want a job in government, but that were willing to come and serve, rather than those who were seeking government jobs. And the result is, you know that they will have to go back to their own careers sooner or later. But no, Nancy and I we don't have any secrets from each other.
You're getting ready for the summit. Is the American press, and a free press is so important in our nation, but is it from time to time being manipulated by the Soviet Union to sort of stack the deck against you in this summit meeting?
Well, I did begin to feel there for a while that when the summit started, they'd be rooting for the other side. That he was wearing the white hat and I was wearing the black hat. You know, that's an old Hollywood expression that you identified the villain as, by the color of the hat. I think what should be better understood by our people, and there isn't any criticism of our press, the Soviet Union has a worldwide disinformation network. And it's very effective. And they can get many things published and broadcast and so forth to suit their ends, and in their drives, for example, to try to create some friction among us and our allies. And I don't think we have anything comparable to that.
One last question. I see their time has run out. If Congress gives you a trade protectionist bill having either a tariff or a surcharge or some other name, will you veto it?
I will have to. That's one of the advantages of being my age. I was looking for work in the Great Depression, and I know what the Smoot-Hawley tariff bill did, the trade war, the world trade war that it created. There is no way that that can win. Protectionism for, say, a particular industry, no one ever looks over their shoulder to see how many people in other industries lost their jobs because it's a two-way street and retaliation sets in. We are still the greatest exporter in the world. And even though there is a great trade imbalance right now, that we're importing far more than we're exporting, that is not because we have reduced our exports as big as they ever were. We have increased our imports because of the value of our dollar and the fact that our trading partners have not had the economic recovery we've had, so their prices are low, and you can't blame people for picking up a bargain.
What they need is a dose of Reaganomics in Europe, is that what you're saying?
Exactly. As a matter of fact, they themselves admit that in their systems there are so many rigidities in labor laws and everything else that have been built in that they have not had the recovery. Indeed, when I was at the recent economic summit, the last summit in May, they called, to my face, they called what we have is the miracle of America. And so we've tried to pass on to them information that we think would help them have some miracles too.
Mr. President, thank you so much. This has been wonderful.
Well,
God bless you.
Well, thank you very much. And in saying that, let me tell you, when you asked about the future and why I was optimistic and all, I am convinced this is a nation under God. And as long as we recognize that, believe that, I think He'll help us.
There's no question about it. That's the greatest cause for optimism I know of. Thank you very much, sir.